Okay, so for this project, we're going to start with our paper being horizontal, and we're going to need a pencil and then maybe a marker, crayon, or whatever to outline when we're done. So the first step is make sure your paper is horizontal, and we are going to fold it in half like this, making sure that our corners are matching up nicely and neatly. And then turn our paper horizontally, and we are going to do that fold one more time. The purpose of this step here is to create a piece of paper that has 4 equal sections. That is the goal for the first step, okay? All right, so now the second step, you are going to brainstorm a word that has 4 letters in it that is something applicable to what is going on right now in your life, whether it is something with your family or just something with what's going on in the world. Here's a first example, the word wash. It's a 4-letter word, W-A-S-H. And clearly we keep talking about washing our hands and keeping clean so that way we don't spread germs. You can see here that this example was done with primary colors and the different patterns that were done on around each letter, okay? Here we chose the word care, okay? It's important to care for one another. Care for yourself. Right now is a time to really be taking care of you. So think about that word and look at these letters that we used. We put patterns inside each of these letters, and the colors that we used were warm colors, okay? So when you go to do this project, we want to make sure that you are thinking not just of the word and not just of the letter, but thinking of it in terms of art and how you can make each section cohesive to create one piece of art, okay? Here is another example, the word kind. We need to make sure that we're being kind to each other. Always, you guys know how I feel about this, and especially now that you're at home with your brothers and your sisters, your moms and dads and your family members, sometimes tensions can get a little crazy. So make sure you are being as kind as you can and understand that we are all in this together. And then here's another one that we did. Actually, my daughter did this one, and she chose the word hope. She has a lot of hope for her future. She's an 8th grader this year, and sadly, kind of like the 5th graders, she's missing out on a lot of her 8th grade stuff. Her dances, her last band concert, her big showcase, and a lot of memories before her and her friends go to high school. So pick a word, again, that means something to you specifically, but making sure that it's a positive and kind word, okay? And to recap real fast, she did summer, winter, spring, and I assume she's going to do fall. So this was kind of like a summer scene. She made popsicles in here, holly berries in here, and Easter eggs in here. So I assume this one is going to be summertime. So that is how she created each of her sections to make a whole. So what you need to do is you need to think of your word, able, bold. Maybe you're cozy at home right now. Maybe you like to draw. Maybe you like to feel like you should be giving to others. Maybe help your parents around the house and be a little bit giving of your time. The word heal, help, hero. Any of these words that you can maybe brainstorm with your family or friends, make sure that you're thinking of something that's positive and that's applicable to right now, so you can look back on your art later and think about what was going on during this time. So I am going to go ahead and do the word heal, okay? So the word heal, and I'm going to start by making my letters nice and big. I'm doing them with a pencil, and yes, I'm drawing lightly. They are probably very hard for you to see on here, just like when I'm doing it on the board. It's very hard for you to see from your seat to the board, and the reason is because you're supposed to draw light, barely touching that pencil to the paper. You want to draw light until you get it right. H-E-A is our next word or letter, I'm sorry, letter, and then L, okay? All right, so I did them nice and big, filling up that paper. So I am going to get a black crayon so you can see now. Now remember, you can choose your color scheme now and start using materials that are those colors, or you can just outline it with a black marker, black crayon, colored pencil, whatever you choose. And if you only have pencils, that is fine as well. So we're going to start by outlining around, not touching, but going around those letters that we just created. Okay, so we have H, and we're going to go up and down. Okay, now when we do this, we are trying to keep the same amount of space between the pencil line and the crayon line that we have created. Okay, so there we have our big bold H. All right, so now we're going to do the same thing with the E. Now I am left-handed, and so throughout all of these videos I am trying really hard to put my hand in a position where you can see, because left-handed people tend to kind of cover up stuff more when they're doing it, so give me a little slack on that. I'm trying my best to make sure you can see everything. All right, and so now we are going to do our A. And I'm going to follow this around here. Now the A is going to have a point at the top, but if I tried to make it a point, it would kind of bend. So I'm just going to do a flat line and then come back down. Now you could also be doing these as bubble letters if you want to curve each of these, and I'll probably go ahead and do one of those for you so you can see that in case you wanted to do it that way. Now inside this A, again, this is why it's important that you're drawing it big so you have space to put those extra things. So we outlined that section. And then our L. We are outlining the L. And now we have the word heel, okay? Excuse me. So for each of these sections, we're going to think of something that we want to put in there, whether it's just a pattern, just a color scheme, whatever you choose is fine. So I'm going to go ahead and grab another sheet of paper that has already been pre-folded, and I'm going to go ahead and do another one real fast to show you in case you wanted to do bubble letters instead of like the box letters. So I'm going to go ahead and do the word hero this time, okay? Because right now we have a lot of heroes in our life. First of all, our family, they are heroes. They are taking on this new way of doing school online and having to do their own jobs. Think about all those grocery store workers that are working to make sure that we have our food and our toilet paper and everything that we need. And, you know, think of the nurses and the doctors that are helping to heal all those that are sick. There's tons of people out there that are heroes. Firefighters, okay? Police officers. So, I went ahead and did that step, I'm sorry. So think about just a word that really means something to you. So we are going to go ahead and do the word hero as bubble letters. So what is different than these box letters is each of these was just a straight line that kind of went around. So this one is going to probably be more of like a continuous line is what we would call that, because we don't even really need to lift up our pencil, but again, or our crayon or whatever you're using. But again, I might lift it up because I'm trying my best to make sure that you can see what's going on. Okay, so that's what I did. We just curved everything. It's just one continuous line curving around, okay? All right, so I'm going to come around here, curve, 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 curve. Okay, so if you're doing bubble letters, it's important to make sure that they're bubbly, that they are round. And again, that's your choice, okay? So the R, and again, I'm going to do this, lifting it up so that way you can see. And then we have to come inside here and make sure this is round. And again, I already kind of did the circle of the O. So there's that, and then there was that. Okay, so we have the word hero, H-E-R-O. So when you're putting your word in there, please make sure that if you you're not sure how to spell it, make sure you know how to spell it. Ask someone for help. And then make sure, remember, just like when you're reading, you go left to right, left to right, left to right, okay? So from here, the art project is yours. Remember, you can treat each of these as their own mini piece of art, but how do they work together cohesively? And one more thing I did want to mention, when you are finished, make sure that you take the time to erase the pencil lines that are inside your letters, because those typically probably have nothing to do with the art that you are going to continue creating. So just make sure you take the time to erase those, and if you drew lightly, it should be very easy to do so. And then also real fast, I wanted to make sure I was clear in letting you know that you can do your art horizontally this way, and you can also do your art vertical this way, okay? So you can choose to make your letters longer and bigger, or kind of shorter and wider this way. So it really doesn't matter if you do it horizontal or vertical. It's completely up to you. So I wanted to make sure that I was clear with that, but please do make sure that you take the time to erase your pencil lines and try to make it clean and neat. And then that way the focus becomes on the art itself and not all those little lines that you made to get yourself to this point.